I own the last generation of ZL1 here off of Gen 5, and the magnetic ride control piece of this car is so magical because you put it in tour mode and you can drive it every day to work. The steering's perfect, the brakes are perfect, it's quiet, it's really nice, but the whole car comes without having to order a track package. So you can flip it into track mode and to PTM 3 and just go, right? And it's really thermally capable, and it can do so many things without having to spend another dime on an accessory or a piece of equipment or a cooler. The car has it all. The finesse piece of this, the steering, when you drive a track like this, was a little more technical than some of the tracks around, with not a lot of big straightaways, but a lot of precision on this car. It's a light car to begin with. It's 200 pounds lighter than the last gen. That precision really brings itself through without a lot of tricks, and the steering becomes much more direct and much more precise. My first car was a Camaro in '67, so I know what the car is and what it was and what it stands for. But the nice thing about this car is, in all forms of the Camaro, it's still very accessible for a lot of people, and still relatively high performance in some some base models like the 2-liter that we're going to do and the 1LE V6. But the ZL1 and the SS are just incredible performance cars, and the value piece of that for the money, I think that's at the heart of Camaro. No matter what the horsepower was or what it is, that value equation of performance and style and satisfaction and happiness that you get with the car hasn't really changed.
Camaro has a long history in performance and racing and motorsports, and it all has to do with the car itself. Always been about performance, and it naturally makes a good race car. And then what we learn on the track makes our street cars better. I think this new ZL1 is the perfect sort of example of that, right? Uses racing technology, but uses the amazing Gen 6 platform as a really lightweight, sturdy foundation, makes a really fast car. This car will attract a wide variety of people, right? So sports car enthusiasts who might be looking at other luxury exotics, to the more traditional muscle car guy, right? Because it does a lot of things well. It does the drag race well, does road course well. It's a comfortable car to drive. So it's a mixed bag of everything you'd ever want. This car, yeah, it's ready for the consumer who wants to go on the track. It's ready for that, but it's also the perfect daily driver, right? It's suited for all purposes, I guess you could say. This is the best all-around performer, right? This is like our triathlete. So fast and nimble, really strong, and high tech. ZL1 will be available fourth quarter towards the end of this year.
So yeah, we're here talking about the ZL1, and I'm going to talk to you about the aerodynamics. And the one where I emphasize is balance. So we're going to start from the front and work our way back. Everyone notices this large aggressive grille. And what we had to do is we had to balance the front end airflow as well as make sure that we can produce adequate downforce to really increase that grip on the track. And we've done a lot of things to improve that grip. We have that massive front splitter. We also have a lot of underbody content that you can't see, but it really helps that car really adhere to that surface once going around a corner. So it's really great for track performance. And then working our way back, we have these accessory rocker panels. And these rockers, again, they help reduce drag, improve downforce production, and that goes the same with our rear wing. So it's a really balanced vehicle, and I think the drivers really feel that balance when they get the car on track. My favorite aerodynamics on this vehicle is all the things you can't see, all the underbody content. We really spent a lot of time massaging all the underbody aerodynamics to really get this car to, again, just be very fast on the track. Oh man, integration. So being the aero guy, we work with all the different groups within General Motors, powertrain cooling, brake cooling. So we really, again, had to strike that balance between all these different components to make sure the car is not only aerodynamically sound, but the car brakes well, it has adequate cooling so it can keep producing that power. So it's a really good balance. I think we're seeing here the best of all designs from all the groups coming together to make a truly good product. Man, this car's really going to stick well on the track. Yeah, we've done a lot of work to get that lift out of the car, produce some good downforce, so that corner acceleration should be phenomenal.
We talk a lot with our exterior counterparts, and again, for on the interior design side, we're thinking about ZL1 from the very get-go. Even from when our first interior sketches and everything else, we understand that the interior has to be able to live in a lot of models of Camaro, whether it's a turbo 4, the 6, the 8, to a ZL1. So we were thinking about this from the very beginning, and one of the things that we really wanted to focus on was creating a nice, open, spacious interior. We knew the exterior, for being a Camaro, was going to have a low roof line, high belt. We knew these were things that the exterior was definitely going to hold on to, so we really wanted to do our part to create a nice, open, low cowl, low IP, wide into the doors in appearance to help that whole perception of, openness and spaciousness interior. We really wanted to help kind of keep the sight lines low so you had really great visibility, even though you had some of these lower exterior dimensions that were around you at all times. This car is such a serious car now that we really wanted to continue that story on the interior. And with this, it's all black. It's got red accents, like you were saying, on the stitching. One of the other things that we're doing is the red seat belt that comes in the car. We've seen this from some of the other manufacturers, and we really think it's a really cool, great way to kind of accentuate, get some more color in the interior that is maybe a little unexpected, but again, is an accent rather than being these big giant pieces of red. It's an accent to the all black, very serious interior. So the whole interior on the ZL1 goes from black leather to suede. All your major touch points, whether it be the knee pads, the elbow pads, the door inserts, the steering wheel, and the shifter. And obviously that goes back to what we see in a lot of race cars, where to get better grip on the wheel, you go to a more high performance suede along with the shifter. And that's obviously something that we wanted to get to, again, going back to this is a very serious car with serious performance, and we wanted to make sure we were communicating and telling the same story on the interior. The seats are extremely, extremely hard to design around. You've got a lot of criteria that goes into what makes a great sport bucket seat there. We work exclusively with Recaro. It's a long process, deciding on what's the right bolster size, what's on the lowers, on your arms. We had a lot of discussion about, we have these very aggressive bolsters, but what's that feel like against your arm when you're shifting? And the last thing you want to be able to do when you're on the track is hit the bolsters when you're doing these aggressive shifts. So there's a lot of give and take on what is that right size, what holds you. There's obviously different body types. What's the right amount of give on your side there that's going to hold you into the seat. And then just the actual feasibility of constructing a seat. These things have to go down through the production line, and they have to meet a lot of different criteria just to actually build and construct them. And working with our partners in the Lansing and our partners at Recaro, we're able to kind of have these discussions on what are the trade-offs and what do we do to really create something that has high execution, has a great look and feel, and really checks all those boxes for what, when a customer sees Recaro on the seat and when they see the ZL1, what that means.